said, well, now that we've forgotten about it, we can get along. Okay, so this whole thing started a few months back when I noticed my girlfriend, Sarah, acting off after this party she went to with her classmates. We've been together for over 2 years now, and I know her pretty well. She's usually chatty and upbeat, but that night she came home quiet, avoiding eye contact, and just wanted to crash early. I figured maybe she was hungover or something, but it dragged on for a couple days. Finally, I sat her down and asked what was up. At first, she brushed it off with don't want to talk about it, but I kept gently pushing, and eventually she broke down and told me she'd hooked up with some guy at the party. Wait, no, not hooked up. She said it wasn't consensual, like straight up assault. I was gutted hearing that. I mean, what do you even say? I just held her and told her I was there for her, no matter what. We talked it through a bit, and she mentioned the guy didn't use a condom, which freaked her out even more. So I suggested we get her checked out at a sexual health clinic, STIs, pregnancy scare, all that. She was hesitant at first, but I convinced her it was the smart move, and she went. I even offered to go with her, but she wanted to handle it alone. Cool, I get that. Thought we were on the right track. But then, like 2 days later, it's like the whole thing vanished from her mind. She's back to her normal self, laughing at dumb memes, planning her next date night, zero mention of it. I tried bringing it up, gently a few times like, hey, how are you feeling about everything? And she just shrugged and say she's fine, doesn't want to dwell on it. Okay, people process trauma differently, right? I'm not a therapist, so I didn't push too hard. Then I started piecing together who the guy was. His name's David. He's in her class at this teaching program they're both in. I didn't snoop or anything creepy. She mentioned his name in passing when describing what happened. One night, I glanced at her phone while she's in the shower. Yeah, I know, not my proudest moment, but I was worried. And there's text from him. Nothing super incriminating, just casual stuff like, hey, you good? But it threw me off. I confronted her about it, and she got defensive at first, then said she couldn't ignore him because she was scared he'd make things worse if she ghosted him. Fair enough, I guess. Trauma responses can be weird. But then, while I was out of town for work a week later, I check in and notice she's deleted all those messages when I casually asked if he texted again. She admitted it, said it was to move on. Red flag, but I let it slide. Fast forward a bit. They're in the same class, so she reports it to the program admins or whatever, and she tells me David gets pulled out temporarily, kept away from her, classes rearranged. I am relieved. Sounds like she's taking action. But now, a couple months later, he's back in the group. Not just class, but they're all hanging out socially. Last weekend, she mentions going to the pub with the whole crew, including him. I'm like, wait, what? Isn't that the guy who? And she goes, yeah, well, we've all kind of forgotten about it now, so we can get along. It's easier this way. That hit me like a ton of bricks. From everything I've read or heard about rape survivors, you don't just forget and grab pints with your assailant. Your friends wouldn't either. They'd rally around you. Keep the creep at arm's length. But here she is, acting like it's no big deal. Our relationship's solid otherwise. We got history, shared friends, even talked about moving in together. I don't want to accuse her of lying and blow it all up if I'm wrong. That'd make me the asshole who doesn't believe victims. But something feels off, man. Am I overthinking this? Has anyone dealt with something similar?